We're joined now by USC head coach Andy Enfield. Coach, late night, early morning for you and your Trojans. We're grateful that you're joining us here this morning. Please provide an opening statement, and then we'll take some questions.
Well, we're excited to be here. Our team played a very good basketball game last night against an outstanding Oregon team. Congratulations to Oregon and Coach Altman. They had a great year, and I'm really proud of our players to be here. Obviously, Gonzaga is undefeated and playing great basketball as well, so should be a great college basketball game tomorrow.
We'll now take questions. Let's begin with Adam Grossbard of the Orange County Register. Adam, unmute your mic, state your name and media outlet for the benefit of those listening in, and proceed with your question.
Adam Grossbard, Orange County Register. Andy, I'm just kind of curious the logistics of game planning between the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. How quickly did you start watching film after the game ended last night? How much is already prepared and how much needs to be done before the full film session with the players?
Well, we got back to the hotel probably about 1 a.m. and looked at some video as a staff last night while we ate. Our players ate a quick meal. Tried to get to sleep before 2:30 or 3 a.m. I think I got to bed at 4 a.m. This is an early morning for us because we haven't been able to prepare. We have practice here in about a half an hour. So we'll do our best, probably get together again this afternoon or evening. But it is a quick turnaround time, especially when you play a late game and your players get to bed at 3 in the morning. So we'll have to do our best to get rested, take a nap this afternoon, and then be ready to go on Tuesday night.
Next question. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Adam, with a quick follow-up.
Is there any team you've played this year that plays a similar style to Gonzaga?
Well, some of the teams in our league push the ball. Oregon really spreads you out, pushes the pace. And I'm not sure. I really haven't seen enough video on Gonzaga to answer that question thoroughly.
Next question is going to be from the Associated Press. Aaron Beard is ready to go.
Hey, Andy, Aaron Beard with the AP, and I realize, like you said, you've had limited time to look at Gonzaga, but, for all the attention that they get for their offense, their defense is top 10 in KenPom. They've got some size that allows them to, get out on the wings a little bit. Is this one of those teams that maybe is a little bit overlooked defensively in that regard because of how good they are offensively?
I don't know. You'd have to answer that question in the media. All I know is they're ranked number 1 in the nation, so they're undefeated. I don't see how you're being overlooked. We just know they're an exceptional team on both ends of the floor.
Coach, the next question is going to come from Zach Braziller of the New York Post.
Andy, when you were thinking of hiring, Eric Mobley, what kind of went into that decision, and how much do you think that has helped you guys get to where you are now?
We met Eric as a coaching staff when we started recruiting his boys, Evan and Isaiah, when they were freshmen and sophomore in high school. And Eric was just such a very polite, very engaging person, just a pleasure to talk to. He was so nice to everybody, and I really was drawn to him because of his personality. He's just such a people person. And then I started talking to him about the game of basketball, and he told me his background, how he started youth groups with boys, coached boys and girls, AAU, as well as local rec leagues. And I just thought that the way he handled player development, the way he interacted with young boys and girls, and also some of the older kids, I was just so impressed. So the number one reason I thought of him as a potential staff member when we had an opening was who he is as a person. And I liked his background in basketball because he played in college, played overseas professionally, but he was a teacher. He taught basketball as a coach for boys and girls for many years, and I just loved the way he interacted with people. And so that was first and foremost. And then as we got to know each other, I thought he'd be a great fit because we needed a big man coach. We needed someone to come in and help our program, and I thought we had enough experience on our staff with Coach Capco and Coach Hart, who had been with me, that we could bring someone in that gave us a different perspective and some different teaching methods that we didn't have, but also we knew he'd have a learning curve to become a college basketball coach because he had never done it at this level before. So our commitment to him was, hey, we'll help you. You have a third of the scouts. You're going to learn how to be an outstanding college basketball coach. At the same time, please, we need your expertise in certain areas and your personality. He energizes people and he really motivates them. So that's what went into it. And 3 years later, he's been on our staff 3 years. He is now an outstanding basketball coach. I'm really proud of him as a head coach because, like Leonard Hamilton took a chance on me. I'd never coached college, and Eric is just succeeded at the highest level, and we love him for that.
And how significant do you think that hire was when you look at where this program is today? I mean, obviously his sons are such a big part of this team.
I think as a head coach, you have to hire assistant coaches that bring something different than you. And I have a great staff. Jason Hart, my associate head coach, he should be a head coach now. He's one of the best coaches in the country. Chris Capco, the same. He should be a head coach here any day now. They are so knowledgeable in their recruiting, their X's and O's, their player development. And then Eric joined us, and so the three of them together make up a tremendous coaching staff. And I'm only as good as my assistant coaches and, of course, my players. And then you throw Curtis Schultz, our strength coach, in there, who's been with us 8 years. So we work together very closely, and Evan and Isaiah, of course, are his sons, but he coaches them like players, and we all do. And so the Mobley family is incredible. Nicole, mom, she's an incredible person as well. So we're a big family at USC, and the Mobleys are part of that.
Just a reminder for our reporters, we do have a limited amount of time, so if you have a follow-up, just jump back into the queue and we'll get to it as we can. Ryan Hamilton's up next from The Athletic.
Hey, Andy, Brian Hamilton from The Athletic. With this group, how comfortable are you switching defenses from one thing to another and back during the course of a game?
Well, you need a basketball IQ, and I think our players have developed a comfort level of switching defenses on the fly. I can call it mid-possession. I can go man or zone in mid-possession, and they can adjust quickly. They get to their spots. They understand that, hey, we have to do this now and get back in transition and get to our – when you play zone, you have a particular spot in the zone that you have to play. So I think this group has really grown into a cohesive defensive unit where they can make the adjustments quickly. And then we switched last night. We switched up how we play the zone in different ways, and different bumps and different rotations, and they can do that now too. So it was a learning process for them. We haven't played a ton of zone all year, so we're actually very impressed. Our staff, we were just talking about that yesterday, how much they've improved just in the last week by playing zone so much in the NCAA tournament.
Let's go next to Ryan from the LA Times.
Hey, Andy. Evan has only averaged 12 points a game through the tournament. You guys have still won the first 3 games by an average of 21 plus points. What does that say about the rest of this offense's performance? And against a team with so much offensive firepower like Gonzaga, do you feel like you'll need Evan to be more of a scoring factor?
Well, we're scoring 80 points a game in a tournament, and he was our 4th leading scorer last night, had 6 assists. Against Kansas, he was our 5th leading scorer and had 5 assists. So as long as he keeps passing the ball, he's so unselfish. So, Evan is not he's not a guard. You can't give him the ball at the three-point line and just isolate him one-on-one. He's not going to shoot threes off the dribble, or he's a forward/center, and he's very skilled with the ball. He's a great ball handler and a great passer, and he's very unselfish. But a lot of his finishes are in the lane, and he'll shoot the occasional three. So he puts a lot of pressure on the defense in areas that other guys can't. But at the same time, he's not going to go and just get 20 shot attempts, because that's not who he is as a player. He gets double-teamed a lot. I think you've seen all year the games that we've played really well. We have balanced scoring. We're 22 or 23-0 right now when three or more players score double figures. Last night we had 4. I think the other night we had 5. So I think we're 23-0, maybe 24-0 now, when 3 or more players score double figures. And so we're a team. It's Evan Mobley is a huge part of our team, but his skill level and his unselfishness are really a big key for us, because the other guys, to have a team that's in the Elite Eight, you need balanced scoring and you need a balanced team overall.
Let's go to Shotgun Spratling from USCFootball.com.
Shotgun Spratling, USCFootball.com. Andy, outside the specific on-court skill sets that you were looking for in the grad transfer market, what did those three guys that you brought in, what did they add and what were you kind of looking for, outside of their specific skills?
Well, we tried to get a quick background check on all of them to see if they fit our program. We have a great culture and great chemistry. We had a terrific team last year. We were 22-9 last year, on our way to the Pac-12 and then the NCAA tournament. We thought we could win games in the NCAA tournament last year, and so we had some success with a couple grad transfers, and we knew we had to rebuild our entire roster this year because we had so many seniors, grad transfers. We had a couple undergraduate transfers, and Onyeka left for the draft. So this was out of necessity that we had to quickly try to evaluate these young men as people as well as basketball players, because it's very important now. We've learned that you can only be a really great team at USC with our coaching staff if you're willing to buy in on the court, in the classroom, and off the court. And I can't say enough about these guys. We got lucky. You never know sometimes when you recruit players, but the players we brought in this year they're dedicated to the sport, but they're also just incredible student athletes, and we're very happy the way they've even during this pandemic. This has really been a tough year, but they've been a lot of fun to be around, and they're very mature and they work extremely hard.
Ryan Young up next from Trojansports.com.
Andy, given that you haven't had much time to look at Gonzaga, what do you even prioritize in this practice this morning?
Well, we won't go live. Let our guys rest. They just woke up here after about 5 or 6 hours of sleep. So we'll try to get some shooting up, go over some basic concepts. We know Gonzaga is an extremely explosive offensive basketball team, so we have to try to contain them the best we can. And then Gonzaga, you have to be able to score the ball. You can't have the game in the 60s and expect to win. So we'll have to continue to shoot the ball well and make that a point of emphasis in our practice.
Let's take a question from Olivia Ray.
Hi, Coach. I'm Olivia Ray out of Indianapolis here, and I wanted to get your thoughts on maybe a thank you message or something you would tell all of the medical volunteers that have been inside the bubble with your team this last month.
Well, we see them every day when we get COVID testing. There's also a lot of volunteers. I just met a nice woman yesterday on my walk to the baseball stadium. That's the only time we get outside. Their volunteers are in the bubble like we are, and I think she said she's here through the Final Four, and hopefully we will be too. But she was guaranteed, I think, 25 nights in a hotel. We're on day 20 ourselves because we came from Las Vegas. So we were just talking about how hard it is for the volunteers here, the medical staff and the facility volunteers, and so really just so appreciative of what they're doing to give us a chance, all the teams here and the fans, a chance to watch March Madness and also participate for the teams.
Thanks, Coach. Next question from Brenna Green, KREM.
Hi, Coach Enfield. Brenna Green from 2 in Spokane. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but you guys essentially have a day and a half to prepare for this Gonzaga game. Just how difficult is it to prepare for a team like Gonzaga on that short of a turnaround?
Well, it is challenging. As I said, we had the late game last night, and the NCAA gave us the first practice this morning, so our players just got out of bed after a few hours sleep. So this practice is just going to be shooting, and we'll have to worry about our game planning later because we haven't had any time to prepare.
Our final question, Coach, is going to come from Ryan with the LA Times once again.
Hey, Andy, you talked about your balance. Obviously, Gonzaga has a similar balance. What's the key to just kind of slowing down an offense like that can have any one guy go off at any moment?
Well, we've played a lot of good teams this year. As you see, 3 of our league is in the Elite 8, and we just beat a 4th team, Oregon, last night that's exceptional. So we've played a lot of good players this year and a lot of good teams. And Gonzaga is good offensively as anyone in the country, and we understand that we have to defend at a high level to give us a chance to win.
Coach, we want to thank you for spending part of your morning with us here this morning. Good luck against Gonzaga tomorrow.
Thank you.
Next, we'll have Tahj Eaddy, USC Trojan student athlete. If you have questions for Tahj, put your hands up using the hand raise function in your Zoom interface. We'll get to as many questions as we can for Tahj over the next 15 minutes. We're joined now by Tahj Eaddy from the USC Trojans. Tahj, how's it going this morning? Late night, early morning for you?
Right, for sure. Feeling good. Just looking to try and survive in advance.
That's the name of the game. Let's take questions. Let's go to Aaron Beard from the Associated Press. Aaron.
Hey, Aaron Beard with the AP. How are you balancing the fact that you guys have accomplished something that USC hasn't done in a long time in terms of getting to this point in the tournament, but yet, appreciating that, but yet trying to be ready to take on the challenge that's ahead and kind of keep building on it?
Yeah, we feel like this is not uncharted territory. We feel like we've been making history all year, doing things that haven't been done in a long time, starting early on in the season. So we're just trying to continue this momentum. We know we're playing a good team on Tuesday, but, we're excited and we'll be prepared.
The next question is going to come from Brenna Green, KREM.
Tahj, you're Brenna Green, from 2 Sports. Tahj, you're pretty familiar with this Gonzaga team, or at least with the program. Just what is it like after playing at Santa Clara? Just what is it like seeing them again, especially on this stage?
Yeah, kind of in a position where we're excited to play anybody. We're prepared to play anybody. But just the fact that it's Gonzaga, obviously having that history, being in the West Coast Conference, it's exciting, to have the opportunity to play them again.
The next question is going to come from Ryan with the LA Times. Ryan, you're up next.
Hey, Tahj, Ryan, LA Times. This Gonzaga team plays at a tempo that you guys haven't actually faced this season. How difficult is this team in transition, especially when you have a point guard like Jalen Suggs leading the way?
Yeah, this is just, a good overall team, at every position. Guys are capable of doing, getting, 20 points, on any given night. So we just have to be extremely disciplined, make sure we take care of the ball and take good shots. But yeah, they're dynamite in transition, so we have to make sure we're on top of our game with that.
Adam Grossbard will get the next question. Adam's from the Orange County Register. Go ahead, Adam.
Tahj, last night when discussing their game plan, Dana Altman said the plan was really just to try to take the Mobleys out of the game and kind of live with the results. I guess what kind of message did you guys send about, the balance of your offense with the way you performed last night?
Yeah, we're an extremely talented team, at every position as well. We're extremely versatile. We could do a lot of things, on the basketball court, on the offense and defensive end. So we know what we're capable of. We don't really listen to the outside noise too much. But, we're excited to go and play.
Shotgun Spratling represents USCFootball.com, and his question comes next.
Tahj, because you have a little bit of experience with Gonzaga, have the coaches come to you and asked you if you've got any tips or pointers on any individual players?
No, not really. For the most part, this is, essentially a new team, except for maybe Kispert. But, we just kind of is going to do our due diligence, as if I never played them. So, we're going to go at our personnel. We're going to, do our job going at every individual and make sure, we're locked in on our game plan. This is going to be a heavy personnel-driven game, so, we got to be locked in.
The next question is going to be from Jim Meehan. Jim, could you please state your media outlet before you present your question?
Jim, Tahj, Jim Meehan from the Spokesman Review.
Go ahead, Jim.
Tahj, Jim Meehan from the Spokesman Review in Spokane. You ran up against Gonzaga for 3 years. What did you take from those games individually and as a team? I know you guys didn't have much success, but what did you take from those games as a team, and how nice is it maybe to face them with this current roster that you have?
Yeah, Gonzaga has been a good team, for many years. They're a
well-oiled machine. They play as a team, even though they have great individuals. They play, great as a team, and they've been great in transition, traditionally. So this go round, I'm excited. I think we have a great opportunity.
Tahj, the next question is from Ryan Young of Trojansports.com.
Hey, Tahj, just kind of take us through the rest of your night last night. Did you have time to decompress and sort through text messages and voicemails? And what time did you finally get to sleep?
Went to sleep pretty late last night, maybe around 2, 3 a.m. Once things kind of settled down, I got in the shower and just, kind of relaxed a little bit. But, this is what it is. It's March Madness. It's been a crazy year all year due to COVID. So, this is, really no surprise. We're just going to make the most of it.
Tahj, we'll take a question from Zach Braziller of the New York Post.
Tahj, what has Evan meant to this team, and just has there been anything he's been able to do this year that surprised you?
I won't say necessarily that surprised me, because I got a feel even before I met him how humble and unselfish he was, but it just speaks volumes to what he's done, throughout this year. It just speaks to his winning culture as an individual. There's been games this year where he's only taken a couple of field goals and we still won by 20, 25 points. So, he's just somebody who makes all the right plays, regardless of what his stat line is or what he's expected to do. He goes out and makes winning plays. Just like, for example, last night, he didn't have a whopping stat line, but he made, winning plays that really stuck out.
Shotgun Spratling with a follow-up up next. He's from USCFootball.com.
Tahj, have there been any surprises at how well this team has come together with how diverse all the pieces are with grad transfers, regular transfers, freshmen, just all the pieces trying to come together this season?
Not really any surprise. I knew August 15th that this team was, truly special. That was the reason why, I decided to come to USC. I knew obviously we had Evan coming in, and then we had some good pieces, some grad transfers with experience. I knew our freshmen were going to make that sophomore leap. So I knew this team was going to be something special. I was surprised when we were picked to finish sixth in the conference, but I knew, we all spoke about it. We knew that, this team was special.
Tahj, we'll hit a final up question from Ryan of the LA Times.
Hey, Tahj, you guys have the best 2-point field goal percentage defense in the nation, but this Gonzaga team has the best 2-point field goal percentage on offense in history right now. What are they so good at in terms of scoring inside the arc?
Yeah, I think it really speaks to their transition game. They really push the pace, on makes and misses, and that allows them to, get in the paint early on in offense, which allows them to kick it off for threes. So we really have to just be sharp in terms of, taking good shots, taking care of the ball, and make sure we're getting back on defense. I think, we get them in the half court, it'll be a good game.
We do have another minute or two if there are any further questions for Tahj Eaddy from USC. Shotgun Spratling, one more for you.
As you said, you knew on August 15th that this team was truly special. What is it about that date?
Not necessarily a specific date, but just, when our roster was finalized and we kind of got together as a ball club, and I saw, our length, I knew our skill set, our versatility. I just knew that there weren't going to be too many teams like us. One of the tallest, longest teams in the country, if not the longest team. So I knew that we had a great chance to do something special if we put it together and we play as a team.
Olivia Ray is next from WISH in Indianapolis.
Curious what the tracing chips are like. We've seen some TikTok videos of you guys wearing them. How is that?
That doesn't sound like Olivia. Just please state your name and your media outlet.
I'm Olivia's coworker, Charlie Clifford, Wish TV.
Yeah, we've been wearing those chips for a while now. Even before we came to the Pac-12 tournament to here in March Madness. It was a little bit of an adjustment. We have to wear certain compression shorts where we could kind of stick it, have little pockets on it, or some guys, they put it in their socks. It was a little bit of an adjustment, the first couple times we wore it because it was just weird having that big chip on your person. But we've adjusted to it. We understand. Like I said, this year has just been crazy in so many different facets. So, we kind of just embrace it. We understand what it is. So we just, we kind of take it from there.
And Brenna Green from KREM with our final question.
Brenna Green from 2. You guys basically have a day and a half to prepare for this Gonzaga team. Just how much of a lift is that, with a team that has as much offensive firepower as they do?
It kind of just, the circumstances. It's March Madness. There's always going to be a quick turnaround. But, we had a long film session this morning. We'll continue to watch film, throughout the day today. And then, tomorrow morning into the afternoon before the game. So we feel like we have ample time to, do our due diligence and make sure we're disciplined in our scouting reports and knowing guys' strengths and weaknesses and things like that. So I think we'll be just fine.
On behalf of all the media in attendance, we want to thank Tahj Eaddy for joining us here this morning. Tahj, best of luck against Gonzaga tomorrow night.
Fight on.